What the hex is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
What the hex is you guys talking about?
Good morning, you guys. When Bob's.
Just another reminder that I do not work for you. I have never worked for you. I will never work for you. If you want good things to happen, you must make them happen.
Let me give you guys a little reminder here. I don't work for you. Hi. I don't work for you. I don't do anything for you. I don't owe you anything. Nothing. Neither does anyone that I know. In anything that I'm involved with, you must have no expectation of profit from the work of others. This is not a security. You're not buying my time. You're not, none of it. Nothing. None of that. If you want Hex to be better, go make it better. If you want Pulse to be better, go make it better. If you want the code to be better, go make it better. It's on GitHub, GitLab, gitlab.com/Pulsechain.com. You ain't going to get no expectations of profit from the work of others from me. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Now, by the way, how's that worked out? Seems to have worked out just fine. So, no singing stories and I tell you what, if you wanted to make a lot of money in the world, telling big stories is something that I see all the time. People tell you a big story to get your money, and they never do anything they said they were going to do. It's called scam. I don't like this. So, no expectations here.
What the hex?
We don't work for you. We will never ever work for you.
If you want to make good things happen, you got to make them happen.
Yes.
It's the perfect theme of the show. We got EcoBuildr in the house. How are you doing?
Hey, everybody. Doing well.
Hey. With the beards. We just told you the beard is back. That's pretty impressive, man. I saw you on a stream. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago, and you were perfectly clean shaven, even on the sides here. And now look at you. It's growing back.
It might have been this cool little thing that StreamYard does where down at the bottom you can say touch up your appearance. So it looked like I was shaved, clean shaven and stuff, but I really wasn't.
So it was like a TikTok filter.
Yeah.
Man, that's great to have you on. I just had a little green room appearance here from a mystery guest, but Peter, did you see that, or did you
Papa
kick
B,
him?
yeah, Papa.
Oh, okay.
Papa B is trying.
He's trying to get in. Let him in.
Let him in. No, Papa B is traveling this week and next week, but he said he see if he's gonna make it from the hotel room or something. So we'll take it as it comes. Here is
he's going to the secret Jew meeting.
The meetup.
Yeah, meetup. So
the Rosh
he's
Hashanah
trying
meetup.
to pump our backs. So I love it.
That's all right. And thoughts and prayers, of course, going out to everybody affected by the storm in Florida. You are from Texas, I believe,
Texas,
right?
Yeah.
Texas, Georgetown. And here I always thought you were from Washington, D.C., because there's also a Georgetown
Sorry about that.
in D.C., but that's not it, right?
Yeah, we're in the heart of Texas.
Okay. And there was no storm over there?
No, we didn't. No, in fact, we're in a drought. We're in a situation where we're hoping for water. We haven't had it for a month.
Okay, so no rain. But also we have a bunch of Hexicans down in Florida way, so I hope everybody is safe and everybody's okay. I tried to check with Sifmaster Hex, Crypticon Holyu. That's the two Floridians that I know a bit closer, but they are all right. They seem to live with their house a bit on an elevation, so
And it looks like
they're okay.
mainly it was flooding at a low level. It wasn't as much as what we've experienced in other part of the country recently. It looked like Milton kind of just died out, but it created some tornadoes across the landscape before the hurricane came aboard. Very interesting.
And the outliers are now coming to Europe. So I'm over here in Germany. Peter, we had wind, but it wasn't like anything,
Not really.
anything super serious. But it's that
Little
strong
bit of rain
that
today.
it rushes along the Atlantic and then even hits Europe. Wow!
Oh, look who it is.
Hello!
Who is this? A Pokemon?
Can you hear me?
No.
I'm just popping in to say I'm in New York. I'm not with you today. It's a noisy place. I apologize. Just want to say good luck and a great show. And it looks like we've got EcoBuildr. What's going on, man? Nice to meet you in person.
Hi,
kind of
Boner.
virtually. It's been a long time talking with you online, and now I get to see your beautiful little punum. So
With the mustache.
good luck, everybody. I'm gonna take off now and stop disturbing the show. I'll see you guys in maybe next one. Take care.
Awesome.
Bye bye.
wasn't that
Except for
noisy.
Peter. Peter can fuck off. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Jew.
Damn. Man, we got 40 people watching live. That's something. Everybody's streaming over us today. It's Axis Alive, got the big alpha stream going. And Steph, Peter, your friend Steph from Stake App, he had the big...
He's streaming?
Yeah, he's launching his own coin now, and he had the big
He
white
can
paper.
go fuck himself.
The white paper reveal today. So
What is it? Like
It's all
105th
very
coin that
interesting.
will help the growth of Hex and the Pulsechain ecosystem?
It's
Is
not.
it- is
It's
it-
on Ethereum
Ah,
because where the fees are nice.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I have to read up on it. But
That's how I feel
whatever.
exactly. Thanks for summing that all up. It's just a wave of new angles.
yeah.
Oh, you're being a maxi. That's negative.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
It just keeps evolving
It
to like,
never-
okay, where am I standing? And then you're gonna shit on me, you know? where are we gonna stand? Okay, so people start going over to Ethereum, and then they're like, oh, we know these people over here.
Yeah.
no.
And-
So
and
yeah, you pulled up a tweet right there.
you put
from me,
this
'cause
tweet out,
I
which
get
was
in a lot of-
interesting.
I get in a lot of arguments with hexicans.
Why?
that
Tell us,
I-
why do you put that out, and what are your thoughts with this?
hexicans that I talk to often.
Exogy's face was.
Yeah.
I get into
Oh my God.
arguments with them because they're just like, oh well, you know,
Who are
if you
they?
knew what I've been through, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
let me think about what all I've been through, and like, you know, all the little stages, the psychological stuff, and actually, this thing could be expanded further to the left prior to launch, to where there were people that were migrating towards Richard and Richard's chats, and
Yes.
maybe they were in that portion of the internet where it was just on Telegram prior to Richard really beating the drum on Facebook Live and YouTube. Remember, because he had it to where his YouTube was somehow like canceled for a temporary time period, and he
Yes.
could only do live streams on Facebook. That's actually how I found him,
Oh, okay.
Richard. By
So you are pre-launch Hexican, and you've been here for the ride. Is that?
I'm a 2017 Christmas 20K Bitcoin person
on.
who went to
Yeah.
an ATM along the highway here in town because
To
it was
buy
a more
Bitcoin.
popular place to buy Bitcoin with a $100 bill into an ATM,
Nice.
sent it to my brand new wallet on my phone.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin was at its peak. So I got like 0.004 for $100. And then it started diving down, and I wanted to know, like, why is this Bitcoin doing this thing?
Yeah.
And then I'm listening to all the influencers on YouTube, you know, and then I'm like, well, let me take a break from YouTube. Let me go over to
to
Facebook
Facebook.
and let it autoplay these videos. And not too long after that, Richard, with his candlelight, was doing a live stream, came on and said his first words out of his mouth, Bitcoin is dead. No one was saying that at that time.
Yeah, he
Absolutely
was crying
no
on
one.
that
That was
stream.
juxtaposition like crazy. And if anything I had learned by that time in my life, I was probably 20 or 36, something like that.
Yeah.
And I listen to juxtapositions. Like whenever somebody says it's actually the opposite, I started listening by that time.
Yeah.
So that's how I found him. And then I experienced all this. I didn't for the longest time go into the Telegram group until we started organizing. In my opinion, we started organizing boots on the ground. We started meeting each other. And then whenever the call to come on to Twitter and start being a part of Twitter, I think that came out of Richard's mouth, either that or Hexo as well. Then I came onto Twitter and I changed my real name to the EcoBuildr. And EcoBuildr came about because I love ecology and I have an architecture background. And so my life goal kind of goes around designing with nature. So ecology builder. And then
so it's not a RH ecosystem. Okay, I'm disappointed.
Aha. And then going further towards like, hey, I just like us to build and go forward. Like what I've witnessed, what has really changed my life is this hex thing and following Richard. So I'm trying to make it so where I can utilize my skills to help out other people. And then that's why I eventually find myself from, architecture mindset of making a chart like this, telling people about the stages of a hexagons coming into, based on this chart, then of course I could lend myself over to design stuff. So the Hex Design Telegram chat and onward into Hex Postcards. And Hex Postcards was created by this guy, Togash, that's over here in Texas area. I've met him multiple times at meetups. I think you and I, Cryptomatic, I think we met him at the same Vegas meetup.
In 22, wasn't it? Yeah, 20.
Okay, I think it was 21.
Was it 21? No,
22.
Was...
That was bear market. Nobody had money.
Yeah, I think it was 21. I think we're losing track of time here based on our ride.
Let's get this right.
Everything
December
good
was
happened. 2020
payday.
to sometimes 21.
Was that 21? No, 21 was the first Hex meetup in Vegas. There wasn't one in 2020. So I joined the second one.
Okay.
Because in the first one, 21, us from Europe, we weren't allowed on planes. It was like the height of the pandemic, but in 22 we were allowed to. So that's when I missed the first one, but I was there at the second one, and I was in an elevator at the Hexcalibur Hotel where the conference was at, and that's also in the first one. It wasn't at the Hexcalibur. It was in random just bars and restaurant all over the place. I think it wasn't even a conference setting. It was more like a meetup thing.
Yeah,
the first one. The second was a proper conference.
The first one.
No, that's
we desperately need your help.
We old
375,000 he was asking for. So T Penny.
That was Pulsechain.
That was later on, right? But I gotta give it to T Penny back in the day. He made it to where us Hexicans we had hotel rooms that
he arranged that. He helped arrange
he
that.
Did arrange
yes, he did.
And it was badass hotels and it was badass prices. So I gotta give it to him for that one little thing. So I stayed at the Aria Hotel that year, and I was really blown away. And then we go to Hexcalibur the next year.
That was the next one, and then
that place was like dark and moldy.
And then
yes,
it was terrible.
Do you remember how like locked tight those towers were?
Yes. It looks like Disneyland. No, but then I was in the elevator there, and then I had somebody screaming, "Hey, Cryptomatic!" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Because with the streaming thing, people know us because we're on camera, but you necessarily
Everybody knows you,
always
but you never have seen an actual
always
shot of somebody.
the other. Exactly. And then I was like, yeah, Cryptomatter, who are you? And he goes, yeah, I'm Togosh. And that was such, we hugged and everything, because Togosh was one of the guys who helped a lot with sort of getting my DJ shows famous in the community. He sort of discovered me as the first person among all the other Hexicans, and was then Crypto Cabana and Crypto Vince later, but at first it was really Togosh, and he put me on the Hex Streamers website. So I always, salute to that, and shout out to Hex Togosh. He did a lot of work initially, with guys like Belliot Brand to really build up the second wave of streamers that we have in the community. So he was really cool. And yeah, now he seems to be part of, or is the big, the big, how do you say, director behind the Hex postcards. Let's talk about the Hex postcards. You had a team tab as well, right? Where is this? Oh, sorry, I pushed.
So we recently did the website, redid it like 3 times in the last year. So I don't know if the team tab is still there. Is it?
I think I had it if I just type it in. Yeah,
okay.
There
it is. So all right, so Togosh is over there on the left.
Yes.
And he actually goes by Togo with a SH tagged on to the end of it. So I've just always called him Togosh, and out of convenience, I continue to do that. Just like Twitter, I don't call that damn thing X. Then this other guy, Philip Banks here, he and Togosh have been working from the beginning really closely because he owns a printer company. So he'll do any graphics that you ask of him, and then he also knows the avenues to get the thing printed, and he knows about the mail system and getting it sent out. But we also have third parties that we're not afraid of using. Say like Print for Less is a website where you can upload your graphic files and get them printed, and it's completely hands off, and get them to people's mailboxes. So there's that. This guy Philip Banks, he's hardly face on the screen, just like Togosh, and he's family oriented and stuff, and he has it to where just like the rest, well, the 3 people on the left of these 4, they're OG Hexicans, and they're happy to be a part of something that's always benefited them. Now, the guy on the right, this guy's a Texan as well. So there's 3 Texans on the screen.
Yeah.
The guy on the right is your pal Vic, right. Victor with a C, and he because we do have an OG Hexican who's a Victor with a K. And so Victor here, I guess he'll be fine with me saying he's over in Houston area. Okay. And family man as well. And he's been with the Hexicans since the top, in my opinion. And he's been to a few meetups as well. And so he's kind of a salesman. He's kind of a forward person. You see the tie and the suit in his image. Great smile. Yeah. So Victor, he figures out those sorts of things. And I think he's been on this show before.
On our show?
Maybe. No. Or wasn't this show used to be Wake Up with Hex?
Yes, this show used to be Wake Up Hex on Discourse Syndicate. We merged from that. And I remember us doing with Das Baum, he was sort of at the helm. We did one episode where we would rate Hex postcards, like design submissions, and he would like give points, and like Das Baum had this whole system figured out, and we were just rolling along with it. But he had this whole we spent a whole hour looking at various designs and stuff. So maybe it was with that where Victor may have been part of it, but I can't remember streaming with him personally.
And for some reason, I remember Philip Banks. He did a live stream appearance while he was out on a boat, and so I remember some water being back behind him, and kind of like on a small bay boat.
Okay.
So I think he
might have
had
was on
both of
Discourse
them
Syndicate.
touch. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah. We emerged from that. We've grown. We're now in our own situation on the What the Heck show.
So here with
But
these
this
four
project's been
people,
around, right? It's been
Yeah.
around for a long time. And
Yeah,
there are
for a while.
prominent Hexicans being onboarded through the postcards. I think Westcott Crypto, I think he
Was he?
is
That's a
in
good
Hex
stat.
because he received a postcard. I think he said
Will
that once.
somebody in the chat figure that out? That would be cool. I look forward to it in the comments.
I believe that's
after
what he
the
said
stream
on
even.
one of his streams. Do you know of anybody else like that? Sort of a prominent Hexican now who's been onboarded because of the postcards?
So I did some locally here to me, and ATX Crypto is one of those people
Oh, yeah, you said.
that it arrived in his mailbox, and then I saw him at one of my meetups later on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool, but I think he already totally knew. It was just like to help saturate
Right.
Hex in the area, and hopefully he was able to have some conversations with some of his neighbors because of that. That's kind of what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Then there's the Jack Levin laughable situation, right? To where he wants a way to enter into the community to bring his ideas forward, and he keeps his mouth zipped about his actual plans.
Yes.
And he says, "Oh, well, you know, I received this Hex postcards. What is this about? Will you do a live stream with me, Richard?" And then somebody told me the other day that he was supposed to launch it, like supposed to beat Pulsechain to launch with his blockchain on Zen.
Yes. What's happening with that?
Somebody just reminded me that, like, yeah, well, where the hell's that thing at? You know? So let's all just have a laugh on Zen.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, he would be a prominent example.
So every once in a while, there's somebody who's rich and famous.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't respect how they got their wealth or what their current frame of mind is, but every once in a while, somebody like that will tweet out to all of their followers, you know, what is this? It'll be a rage tweet. You know, what is this crap I just got in mail? Like one of them, I remember reading, it's on the Hex Postcards website as like, you know, an artifact, a souvenir of war. Somebody said, like, what in frozen hell is this? and they're showing it to all of their followers.
Right. And Richard has always been a big fan of that. And you have the tweet here as a copy on the Hex Postcards. It's hexpostcards.com. You guys, all the links are down in the description. That he says direct marketing is what he likes best, and him being a marketeer extraordinaire himself, you know, that holds some weight if he positively comments on that, I would say.
He's doing great marketing, by the way.
Richard,
past 2 years, awesome marketing.
Awesome marketing.
Richard will create evergreen content, and it'll be in video format. And so Togosh has literally taken Richard's words and you know, followed through with them and created physical things based on you know, Richard's 1 or 2 line deliveries.
Right.
Talking about direct mail to wealthy places. So what we're able to do is look up in the United States, or you could look this up in any country, what are the most wealthiest zip codes, and then there's no gatekeeping whenever it is that you plop something in their mailbox, and you could do it over and over again if you have the funds. Most people are reading their mail if the nanny's not throwing it out beforehand. The statistics are like the folks that are like middle age, they'll keep around the mail until they devour it, read it, throw it in the trash. So it's going to sit there, you know, at their countertop bowl area, wherever it is, you know, in their household, until they go through it. And so like the younger people, they like a lot of color, and the older folks, they want it to be straight to the point.
You know what? For the older folks, the postcard has to look like a bill. So they open it.
Like an invoice, you mean? Like
Yeah, or it was like something like
I get
invoice
it.
for water or electricity or something.
I mean, I have to agree that it's definitely better than email, because me in my day job, like, I receive on average about 500 emails every week.
Right.
So that would just totally, delete. There are days where I just go delete, because there's so much advertising and newsletter that you may or may not have signed up for, and that it would just get lost. But the paper mail that I receive at the office too, I definitely look at that stuff. So there is something to be said for that, definitely.
And what type of person is it that we're wanting? A person
Yes.
who pays attention to detail, who puts things on their to-do list after they see something. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Peter, whenever you said bill, I didn't quite understand what you were saying. You were saying like an envelope where there's folded papers on the inside and maybe it's like unmarked on the outside, and it really has it to where like somebody has to have.
I don't know. I don't know how invoices look in the US, but there is this pattern around here that everything looks the same. I don't know where is the. There's this like something like this. There is some insignificant logo, and then this like top plasticky part. There is like your name, and then like,
So some of the scenarios is we don't have people's names. We can't put the name on the address. And then some of the scenarios we do have it if we're paying for a mailing list.
Right.
But so I've got a secret page to our website. It's HEX Postcards /instructions. And that's a place where people who have the initiative to send out to wherever, if you want to do a mail campaign on your own with postcards, you can go to that place, and it's got all the instructions of all the links and everything that you would need in order to get that stuff out there, and then examples as well, and introductory video there.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good. Okay. And then some pricing even. Okay, cool.
So that print for less, that PFL that's in the center of the screen, that's a service where you can just upload the graphics and then say like, hey, this is where I want it to go. And you don't have to touch the postal service at all. So a complete service. And then the one on the right, that's Hex Promo, that's Philip Banks's logo and something that he set up just in order to process Hexakin stuff that they're asking of him, because Philip Banks can also get you magnets and cards and all sorts of stuff. That's actually what I do whenever I'm sending out some free promo stuff. By the way, y'all can get in touch with me for that sort of thing, and that's what my little name tag is about here, mailhex.xyz. But that's a different organization. That's just me doing stuff. So I wanted to talk more. Will you scroll up just a little bit?
Oops, sorry, my bad.
Okay, so the USPS. So that's a link to our United States Postal Service, and that's the same process of uploading, well, finding a zip code, and based on the house values, and actually submitting something to go out as well. I believe that's the link for that as well.
Okay.
And so then will you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah.
So the postcard in the middle with the family that's staring away at the sunset, that was the very first design.
Yes.
And shout out to Steed, the old Hexakin OG that had always been around in the Telegram chats. He and Togash designed that first design, and then Togash got with Philip Banks in order to how to get it printed and how to get it sent out, and then Philip Banks just melted in to where it's like, you don't have to use me, but if you do use me, I'm going to do no charge whatsoever. No profit is what I'm trying to say. And then down in the bottom right of the screen is a design done for hexscout.com.
Right.
So we had this idea of like, okay, what's the best way to onboard people?
Yes, this looks like the website actually. Yeah.
Yeah. What site do we send people to? Do we send them to hex.com or do we send them to, hex.com / buy, I think is the link. And then, or do we send them to Hex Scout / start? Yeah. And then they have a tutorial. So that's actually a question, a tally, a poll that that my crew was asking me to bring to your audience. So please, guys, in the comments or the comments after the show, please let us know what you would rather prefer: hex.com / buy or Hex Scout / start. Where would you send people? What, like, when they see these awesome graphics in their face, they get a gist of what it is that you're wanting to sell them. Okay, then how do you hook them? Do you give them just a QR code and then only the daring people will dive into the QR code? Or do you list everything for them and make it to where it's less of a scary ride of what you're asking them to do? Because that's a huge promises, the APY on there, and how many people does it actually register that, oh my gosh, this is a financial thing. They're not trying to sell me an object. They're asking me to be a part of something. And that's another question is, do we put the APY on there? And what amount of APY do you put on there? Because
Richard says it needs the APY and it needs a website, like a call to action. So don't just have the Hex logo, but you must have hex.com or something where people can interact with. I've been struggling with that as well on my Twitch channel because I'm all about outbound brand marketing really on there. And in the first year, I was pushing Staker apps. Yes. That was like the main link. But I have, of course, since replaced everything now with hexscout.com on my end, because I just like that better, because you have directly, various options to immediately purchase and get involved, whether on Ethereum or on Pulsechain. And we had the developer on from Hex Scout, they're Germans, so they're kind of known through the Crypto Sparbuch situation. They're known in the community, all OGs since day one, and they definitely have the onboarding thing in mind. It's not necessarily for personal gain or personal interest. It's a selfless project, Hex Scout, but I think it just works, and it's a good way to start. So I'm pushing that. But yeah, it's a good question for the audience to ask. Maybe later after the show they can leave comments underneath the video and on YouTube what they think.
So you had a question earlier that I stopped you from because I asked you to scroll down.
Right. No, I wanted to get into the current situation with the design contest, because we know Silver the Antidote, big fan of the show, fan of the channel. He's getting involved now with you guys, or he saw this as a good opportunity for him to finance, one of the design contests, and I believe that's the story. So that's what he set out to do, and took a bit on the director's role for this design contest. Can you talk about that? These were the final 4 picks here, I believe, where then the guys on the X were supposed to vote. Were there more entries, or was that all there was? How did that process go?
I think there were more entries.
Okay.
So,
or he chose then the final 4, basically.
And he ran the poll too.
Right.
So I think what happened was Silver the Antidote he recognized that it was time for people to step back into the space and put some financial backing to ads that they run. You know, get more eyes on Hex. And so he told the community something like, I've got $10,000 to spend on the community. What would you guys do? Please start pitching me ideas. And very quickly, somebody put Hex postcards in there.
Postcards, sure.
And let them know what all Hex postcards has already done and how we've already got the engine for you to just put the money in and out on the other side. You know, a product is delivered to somebody's mailbox.
Right.
So Silver, instead of using, well, see, how did it happen? I guess what happened was, like, because I'm not the leader of the postcards group, and we don't have leader battles or issues or anything like that. So I think
Just another reminder that I do not work for you. I have never worked for you. I will.
Sorry.
So I think what happened was, like, I'm just thinking here that the leader of the postcards group, Togosh, mentioned that, hey, we run design competitions in order to get eyes on. So you know, like, if it is that you're not convinced that a certain postcard or the postcards that we're highlighting are the best that can be done, hey, why not the community ante up their ideas once again? And we'll continue to do this sort of thing. Like, give me a postcard design, I'll give you $100 sort of thing. Like, that's almost how it averages out whenever the amount of people that participate. You might win, you might be surprised. So Silver did this, and I think that Silver selected the winners, saw who it was that was submitting it, might have chosen more OG people, and then 4 designs were narrowed down, but the postcard group had really nothing to do with those selections. Silver the Antidote also worked with the postcard finalists in order to whittle the design down a little bit. So here we are, where Silver has now said, okay, because he's giving it to us in increments. He now says that just like 2 days or 1 day ago, he donated $5,555.
Yeah, that was this tweet, but I understood it as, in addition to his 10, someone else donated another 5,555, but that is wrong. So that is really 5,555 from him.
And then I think we already had 3,000 in our hopper,
right, from
previous donations. So as that thing gets filled up, then we drain it. We send the stuff out. So I think our instructions right now are to take the number 1 postcard from that contest and run it through our system, get it ironed out and sent out. And we'll start with the zip codes that we've already got, to where like we've already been sending out postcards to the wealthiest zip codes in the United States and a few in Canada. And now, let's see, last year we revisited some of those to where some of those have had 2 postcards sent to them. And I think what we're going to do is, down at the bottom of this list, we're going to finish off those guys for the first time and have it to where they've now got 1 postcard sent to them.
Cool. And I think from the poll, the one that won was the one with the blue dot on here, right?
Yeah, that's the one I recognize.
That's the one that is the winner. And funnily enough, it's by Mrs. Hexican on the X, who we shitted on 2 weeks prior to this contest on the show because she didn't support us in our effort to get everybody on on hardware wallets. She was like, hardware wallets, nobody needs those. Just get the people on board. And we were like, no, you want to have a Trezor ledger. And she now actually took that to heart a little bit and added a little green line mentioning the Trezor even on this design, which is very funny. So congratulations to her, though. I think
she got her ass whooping.
No, but it's a good design. So it's all fun and games here, but it's great with the picture. I think that touches people, with the little kids. It just plays a bit with emotions. There is inflation eating your wallet. And then underneath on the back page, of course, the Hex Scout-esque design of all the things Hex, and has a QR code which I believe leads you to tutorial videos, a playlist on YouTube. I believe that's what's behind it. So that's the one, final touches, as you said, that will probably then be going out. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one we're working on, that we're processing.
Yeah.
And then also there was an emphasis whenever Togosh and Silver the Antidote were having a conversation, there was an emphasis on LA. And so we might end up saturating Los Angeles.
Right.
And that would be interesting, right? You send it to one area, you saturate that area, those people get to talking. They think that Hex is everywhere when we've just saturated their area.
Very cool.
And so maybe they talk across the nation. That QR code leading over.
Here's another comment from the Snowman.
Where are you, Papa B?
I just
South
got
Pole?
off of a... Can you hear me okay, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, go.
Thank you. No, I just got off a flight at JFK. My first time to see this big apple thing called New York. So I'm
nice.
dressed
The rotten apple
with all of my layers that I can peel off depending on whatever the weather is. I came from LA, where it was like hot and terrible, which is where I'm from originally, and now it's I don't know.
It's cold and terrible.
It's cold and terrible. I love terrible. So that's why you see me as a snowman in a bona fide New York yellow cab.
It's an actual yellow cab. That's
an
amazing.
Actual yellow cab, but it's a Japanese vehicle. So I feel right at home. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
that's not
jealous.
Prius. It's a Sienna. It's a big one that they don't make anymore. It's like the big van. So we're happy with that.
I'm so jealous. I love New York.
I thought you lived San Diego.
That too, but also New York.
All
But
right.
yeah, San Diego I like better. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. I can see that Toby's like saying he's gonna casually sneak in and try to
Toby's
take another
struggling.
half hour.
I don't know. People, markets are dumping. The charts are down. We desperately wanted to have that
What?
TA update, but that's all right. We can talk more about postcards that way. So that's more
Yes,
important.
I was listening in on the postcards thing. I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me join in at the last second. Please do continue, Sir EcoBuildr.
Okay.
No, but I think we covered most of it, right? So that's the current.
Well, you said
That's the
something
plan
about the
Yes.
QR code in the middle
Yes.
of that winning design, how it led to a YouTube playlist. I think that's a great way to get people in.
I'm 2 minutes late. I'm 2 minutes late, and you bring
Toby
Papa
goes-
in.
Toby
Damn it, I
goes-
thought I was going to have a Papa-free stream for once in
I
my
can
life. I get to
speak
talk
with
about
you.
charts
I'm
without
Obi-Wan
Papa
and Toby,
screeching
and I'm
all
a
over
real
me.
dork. Why are you guys going over there?
What's up, Papa? What's with
So
your
we all hear Toby, and he's got,
what's with the
7
face diaper?
minutes to give us the good news. We have faith in the damn King ecosystem.
Exactly. What's with the face diaper? No, but you're interrupting our guest, you rowdy little bunch down here. Let EcoBuildr finish his thoughts.
Sorry.
What's up, EcoBuildr? Mad
I'm
respect,
lagging, I'm
bro.
lagging now. I apologize.
Mad respect.
So whenever it is that somebody would experience a Hex postcard, where would you expect them to start and follow up? That's maybe the lure, the hook. Like where are you actually going to lead them first? And I am a fan of that QR code leading to a playlist on YouTube, because I think a lot of people are seasoned with YouTube. They trust YouTube. Maybe folks are like on the go, and it's really easy for them to listen to audio that they don't have to watch the video of. Like possibly some folks are doing that with you right now.
Yes.
So
surely they are.
I'm a fan of that.
Nobody watches this show. They listen it on the commute to work or something.
So I'm a fan of like the YouTube audio route. You know, the people who are willing to do something with podcasts, because podcasts personally changed my life. I used to work in the corporate world as a draftsman for some engineers as an architect. So like I wasn't enthused about the work I was doing. It was sort of like my body was there, but my mind could be other places. So I used to download, this was 10 years ago, I used to download a bunch of podcasts of my interest onto my computer, personal computer, take it into work and just listen to it, because it was too much to fit on a iPhone back then.
Right.
You know, all this audio, the downloading, deleting. So anyway, people put what they want to hear in their ears, and maybe they're working on something else in their life, and they're wanting to, you know, get a little bit more information about this thing that they have interest in. And so I just think that playlists are a good way to introduce Hex to people.
Absolutely. And there was a similar initiative with letters being sent out, but that wasn't you guys, right? That was someone else.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten down to the bottom of who did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're from the UK or the States.
It could actually be European, because, you know, one of the target was the ledger hack, you know, the addresses that were leaked on the darknet, I think, and everybody could eventually, they became free to download at some point, I think. So you know, that could have just been anyone that mailed, you know, then these hex letters to that database of people who are, of course, people who own the ledger, might be in crypto, and that's actually a smart thing to do, but it caused tons of controversy and only strengthened the scam narrative around Hex. So that's maybe not what we should be doing, I guess.
Well, you know, any eyes are good eyes, right?
Works,
any media is
right?
good media.
Yeah.
And we've had our fun too. Like whenever Celsius had their court documents released,
yes.
yeah, we had our fun with the Celsius postcard too.
The Celsius, right?
Did you already cover the fact that Richard has like wholeheartedly endorsed this method of outreach as his favorite?
Yeah, DJ brushed over it, but
I'll
I could
it for you.
with a broad brush.
But I could bring the dagger back in and say Richard says one-liners and two-liners, and they're often about the same things that Hex Postcards is doing. We're getting around gatekeeping. We're ignoring gatekeeping by sending something straight to people's mailboxes.
Right.
How do you I mean, back in the day it was one thing, but now is it you and who else is funding the ability to stick bulk stamps on everything and actually put them through USPS?
So earlier in this stream, we went over some of the third parties that will help you out in doing that. So Hex Postcards /instructions is a secret page on our website that can walk you through all the steps in case you want to be, stay anonymous and put forth your own funds and reach out to whichever addresses you're interested in reaching out to. Here's some quality links on your screen. Print for Less is a third-party organization. Hex Promo is something set up just by Philip Banks and OG Hexakin, who has been doing graphic design and mailing for a long time. So he was our avenue to light light the path for the first few postcards, and now he'll sit aside waiting for you or not. And then USPS is the main website for the United States in order to show you the zip codes, the values of the houses, so you can go around on an interactive map and figure out more information about who you're targeting, and then you can also process through them as well. So print for less, they're gonna charge a little bit more because they're gonna do a little bit of the work. And then Hex Promo, that's Philip Banks not taking any profit for himself. He's doing it at cost. And then you can also get other things from Philip Banks. Like I've gotten cards and magnets and stickers and stuff for a separate situation. But our postcards are like a little bit over 9 inches by 6.5, I think. So originally the postcard design was huge in order to be an obstacle inside somebody's mail bundle,
that it would stick out. Yeah,
exactly. Colorful, catchy, really well done, polished, and huge, and good color, non-fading, and then rigid as well. That's a thing that it's not folded, and it can't easily fit everywhere. Somebody has to deal with it.
Nice. I like the psychology, the thought process that's been put into this. I had no idea that's why it was so effective the first go around. That's really cool.
And also, I'm secondhand information. I'm not even the top of the pyramid in this organization. This stuff is just brushed off onto me.
No, but it's very important work. And just to finish off, people, if you are rich Hexican out there, and you want to support and contribute this initiative of onboarding that is done by the community, there's a big fat donate button on the hexpostcards.com website, and such as Silver the Antidote has recently done, allegedly. So you can also donate some funds towards that, and the more funds there are, the more cards are being sent out. Simple as that.
And we've sent out like we've broken through 500,000 postcards now. So we might be up to like 80,000 above that now. Maybe with what Silver the Antidote just donated, we're going to reach that definitely. But we've been trusted by a lot of OG Hexicans with their donations, and it's been well over $100,000 worth.
Wow.
I got a quick question. What do you, what have you found the conversion rate to be? Is anybody taking care of tracking that type of thing?
And that's why we need help figuring out, where do we send people? Do we send them to hex.com/buy, or do we send them to some other place that we trust, like Hex Scout /start? So keep in mind, like we talked in the very beginning about somebody introducing their new white paper and things like that. People are going to change a little bit, and maybe we shouldn't be highlighting them and making them the point of contact, because maybe in the future they're going to change, and then they'll take people away from hex.com.
Correct.
So that's in the leadership of and the direction of this group, we've recognized the potential of that.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. But then maybe the leading them to a YouTube playlist that can also be tracked in terms of views, and analysis can be done on that, like where are the viewers from, etc., etc. Maybe that's not the stupidest thing to do.
Okay, so you lead them to a playlist which you represent as a QR code to make it easy for them. However, do you also spell it out, or do you spell out something else? And then you sit there and say, okay, some people followed this route and some people followed this route, So guys, we need some help. in the postcards group. All hands on deck.
So join the Telegram.
Yeah, there's a Telegram chat where we're constantly talking about whatever's the newest thing, and then also like new design ideas or marketing ideas that people have run across. Maybe they screen captured it and threw it in that chat. So we've got designers in there. We've got people who do this stuff for a living as well. You know, they like one of the people is one of those folks that puts ads inside of magazines. So there's a lot of professions around this field.
Nice. Awesome. Well, EcoBuildr, if you could stick around, we're doing TA with Toby now. And then, I mean, Toby, what is happening? I thought we were moonbound. what we're giving away back all these games. Let's run the damn TA with Toby.
Dude, you missed it. You missed the bull run.
Yeah,
that was it. It was glorious.
That was our shot, right?
I cleaned up. I don't know about the rest of you idiots, but
I've waited 3 years, and
I killed it. I killed it. So good luck. Another year, another 3 to 4.
Another 3 years of shit.
Yeah, then maybe we'll talk again in 2028.
Yeah.
See how
the fractal. But the fractal.
Yeah, the measured move.
The fractal, the yellow, the piss yellow fractal. All right, so
where are we? Zoom in. Enhance.
I'm gonna enhance. Relax. So you know this bit. I always start off with the long view. Hey, Vechnia, calm down.
From the cap.
And then we got I'm sorry, that's Papa. I thought that was Peter yelling. Jesus, you guys sound the same to me now.
No, he's in New York now.
Couple of old yentas.
That's how you talk in New York.
Up.
I think you and Peter should just do a show called The Yapping Yentas.
God damn it, hurry up.
We have a few episodes. We have a few episodes of these.
I think you do. I think you
not
do.
Very popular. Not very popular.
You're just getting lumped in.
Tell me you can suck on my kishkas. Hurry up.
Dude, your audio sounds as bad as mine. What's going on there?
Shut up. I'm in a taxi.
He's in the war zone.
I'm in the taxi.
All right, let's go. Hex, the EHEX, the baby, the firstborn child, Richard's love of his life.
He's got it. Look, DJ's paying attention. All right, yeah. So all those things. It's like the original, the OG, the EHEX.
Yes.
I always start off with the long view chart. This goes all the way back to showing the all-time high back here in September of 2021.
Good time.
And it looked like we started getting the pump around the beginning of May, which, if you recall, was when there was a lot of speculation about the Pulsechain launching, right? So and the sacrifices, right? So anyhow, that's the bottom of the channel. That's the top of the channel. We worked our way around, hit the top of the channel, came down here in August of 23, hit the bottom, tried to touch it again, failed to reach the top side, and then boy, did we respect that bottom line all the way since the death tweet in March of 2024, bouncing off of it, and then we finally started to get some upward movement. So that's where we can zoom in, Peter. Jesus Christ, that's where we can zoom in and get a little better view of what's been happening since. So I've got this on the 3-day. Typically, your longer time frames, you get a little more reliable, predictive elements out of it. If you're looking at a 15-minute or an hourly even, I call those the crackhead charts, because it's like, you can see all kinds of stuff that's really not there, right? Next thing you know, you're on all fours digging through your carpet looking for rocks. Only a select few of degenerates will understand that.
What can I tangent with? Hurry up. Stay on target.
So I'm on target, you fucking prick. All right. So, all right.
PLS Hex, all that I trust.
So, all right. So anyhow, so here's the 3-day. We speculated last time around that we could be in this new upward ascending orange parallel channel. You can see on the daily where we had multiple touches: top band, bottom, top, wick down to the bottom, top, bottom, top. So pretty reliable. Now here's where we could have gotten a little indication maybe of where it was cooling off. It didn't quite get all the way back to the channel. Started to round over. So I noticed there that we were, and then we got an indecision candle. That's that little red one there with the thin body and the long legs. Yeah.
That's not just like you, Toby.
Oh, hey, using my joke from last week. Good one. Call your riders. Fire them all. All right. So
there's an evening star at the top.
So then we go right. Yeah.
Clear
the hangman, whatever. There's all kinds of shit. The doji, the spinning top, all the stuff. So it rounds over and we go to the bottom of the channel. I'm hoping we get a little fake out here on the daily. We bounced up. I was hoping that we can make it and start working our way back to the top of the channel again. We did definitely break down. Here you can see the measured move of that. Once you break the channel, that's usually where you're headed. And unfortunately, since the breakout happened there, the full measured move is suggesting that we're going to go all the way back here to the 100 EMA. 100 EMA is on EHEX at 0019, so that's not great. And but we've that's the direction it's trending right now. On the daily, we are getting a little wick off of the 55 EMA. If we look at the 3-day to see what's going on back over here, stretch that out a little bit. We have moved my bar over. Looks like here we have wicked through the 55 EMA and come back above it. We wicked not quite to the 21 EMA. So these are showing some nice bounces. So, it could be that we don't get the full move out of this and we don't go all the way down to that 002 region that I'm talking about. And we could find our way to start working back up, bouncing off of these EMAs. Happens all the time. Typically longer term, that's a good thing. Like if you can cool off and then consolidate for a little bit, things that go straight up really, really fast usually come down just as brutally, right? Just as violently. So I think it's ultimately a good thing longer term. And, we've got, people taking some profits that had this monumental run up. And then we're working our way on the fractal up to 005 is what it's calling for around the time of the hearing, which is between the 24th and the 31st. So it'll be interesting to see if we have this little fake out. This could also be referred to as a bear trap, right? Because the bears think they're winning. So they're like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. And then boom, we spike right back up. And then the bears are left behind having to buy back higher, right? So that's something to be thoughtful of in that region. I'm buying the dip, quite frankly, but not financial advice. I thought we got a really strong rejection off of this, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. And you'll see as I go to the other charts, we got very similar things playing out in all the above. So let's move on over to Pulse. If we move over to Pulse, this is the 3-day on the Pulse chart. As you can see here, we had the big ascending white channel that broke down. We didn't get the full measured move. It took several months. We worked our way almost down to where the full measured move would have taken us. And we started working our way back up. So if we zoom into this orange descending parallel channel, which is the most recent pattern that we've been paying attention to, when we had the breakout here on September 15th, finally got to the top side, the move started around September 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that region. And then it worked way to the top. We broke out. Full measured move would take us where? Right to where it went, right? To the 4058 region. And we nailed it. So now that we've met the full measured move, we're pulling back. Sometimes it'll come all the way back to test the top of the channel it was in. Sometimes it'll find other areas of support. Here on the 3-day, it looks like we've wicked off of the 55 EMA, which is the green squiggle. If you guys remember at home, take notes. The 21 EMA is the yellow squiggle. Looks like we're pointed toward that now. That would be an area I'd be looking at for strong support. And that's 004 flat. So if we get through that, 0045. If we get through that and start working our way back toward the top of the channel, you'd be looking at support probably around 0004. But hopefully we can get some support on the 21. If we go to the daily, I always like to look at both. Same situation. Obviously, we made our way to the full measured move, which we were expecting, chopped around, worked our way up, rounded over. Right now, we're through the 21 EMA. We've got, it doesn't show it on this one. How many hours have we got, guys? 3 hours till the daily close. So we got 3 hours to try to get ourselves back up above the 21 EMA, which would put us right back up about 4 zeros and a 5. So if we could get back above the 21 EMA, I'd feel pretty confident that that's now going to become support, and then we could maybe make another leg higher. As far as where that would go, that would involve some additional charting, speculation stuff. Just shits and gigs for those at home that want to try this. I'm not going to go all the way through it, but it's like what you could do is you could look here and be like, hey, is that a channel? And then you could start drawing lines, just like Uncle Toby.
Don't try this at home,
it's
guys.
easy,
This
man.
is
That's why
highly trained professional.
Nah, this is silly shit. This is super dumbed down. This is TA for dummies, right? Like, so, and look, hey, what do you know? What's that? What's going on here? So we found a pattern that could maybe be legit. We got multiple top touches, I only got 2 touches on the bottom, so I'm not a real super confident in it, but you can see where we had that pattern and we rolled over.
Yep.
The height of that pattern is such and so. If we move, if you guys remember, say it with me, when we break out of a channel, we move the height of the channel, either up or down. So if this is legit, this new channel we just drew on the fly, and we have broken down from it, then where is it going to show some support? Right back down there at that quadruple 045, just like I was talking about not even a minute ago at the what is that, the 50, or I'm sorry, the 100 EMA on this one. So that's where you can kind of get some ideas of direction and depth of direction, like whether it's moving up or moving down. So I think that that could be where we're looking to play out. If we can get back up into this channel, you know, then we'd be looking at these horizontal resistances on the way back up at quadruple 066 and quadruple 074. Obviously, we would all prefer that. So hopefully the retrenchment's not too terrible, but cooling off is healthy longer term. So don't get too wrenched about it. Everybody relax. All right, moving over to Pulse X.
In the game. Dips are in the game.
Dips are in the game, man. Buy
Another
the
buying
dip.
opportunity. Woo.
Buy the fucking dip, like my friend RG says. Buy the fucking dip. So, all right. So, you know, we know this whole story. We had the big parallel channels moving up on Pulse X. We had the spike. We actually outperformed it, rolled over, death tweet, wrecked everybody and everything. Coming on over here, we've got the long descending parallel orange channel that had been playing out since April. Bounced off the bottom, same time frame as everything else started to run, beginning of September. Got to the top of it, rejected initially, had another break and broke through. Didn't quite get the full measured move. Fell a little short of that. Right now, it looks like we're trying to wick down to the 100 EMA on the 3-day and maybe use that at support at around quadruple 023. Maybe we'll fall short of that. Let's see what's going on the daily. Daily, I like this a little better as far as just kind of getting an indication of what's going on. Looks like we have broken, tried to stay with some support yesterday on the 21 EMA, but we've now broken below it. Like I said, we got about 2.5, 3 hours until the daily close. You know, so I would love to see us get back up to that quadruple 028, which is right on the 21 EMA, and start using that as support and then building a base and moving higher. We could do the same thing here, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time, where we could draw an ascending parallel channel, see what the breakdown was. I'm going to tell you right now from just eyeballing it, it's going to show us right in the same target areas. So, you know, could we overextend that a little bit and come and test the top of the channel again? Certainly. And then we go again. That's ideal. If we break back down into this channel, that ain't great. And then you could expect, you know, working our way back down below this, because we don't want to break through all these EMAs, because then we're, you know, then we're looking at making another touch on the bottom of the channel, and nobody wants that. Right. Yeah. Death crosses. Exactly. Thank you. So moving along, now we are to Hex, the new Hex.
Crispy Man advertises we go back to 1 penny.
Crispy could be right.
And he calls that healthy.
It could be right. I mean, it's like, well, and that's where you're getting into like fib retracements and stuff. And it's like, I haven't done this, so we'll test out my eyeballs and see. So if you go from like the very beginning of the move and start your fib retracement channel, and you go to the height of the move, all right, so that gets us up there. Essentially what you're looking at is healthy retracements, usually between the 0.5 and the 0.618. And I know this is a little advanced for like the typical silly Toby 1 TA pattern stuff, but you know, there are those out there that like these other ways of trying to get some insight. But with fib retracements, basically, you know, between the 0.5 and the 0.618 is classically referred to. Of course he is. It's like, Peter, we're talking about the hex you like. Pay attention. E-Hex is done. There he is. Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. Okay. All right. So we got, so we dip down to the 0.5 is where we're looking almost at, right? Is that's basically like what it's telling us. That's a 50% retracement of the whole move. And then you're at the 0.618. That region is classically referred to as the golden pocket. You can also see in my little dumbed down pattern trading thing that full measured move takes us right to the middle of the golden pocket. So, you know, could it happen? And where does that take you if you get all the way down to the 618? That takes you down to a penny. So he's not far off. He's probably looking at something similar on this.
The
and
low
suggesting
penny.
go all the way down.
No, well,
Now,
we must
you can
have
get-
some resistance and some support there along the way.
Yes.
What?
Well, and there's-
That
it's like
doesn't
a-
exist in our ecosystem.
We're not going all the way back. Like, what the
Often,
heck?
way.
often.
I've got things to do and places to be.
I got places to be and people to do. Boom.
Damn.
So yeah, look out. So anyhow, we got that's basically it, right? So it's like, here's the 0.5 to 618 region. We're in the middle of it now. If we get to, we're almost to the 0.5. If we keep pushing down, we'll be to the full measured move and we'll be in the golden pocket, which is typically a really strong buy zone. Can you get deeper dips? Certainly. You could go all the way down here to the 786, and then you're looking at 007 again. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think, I really feel like, maybe we wick into this, but there's too many people watching it, and it's been too strong for too many weeks now that I think people are going to snatch that up. And my prediction, just my gut, and maybe I'm a little too hopeful here, is that this is another bear trap.
You are.
So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Now, because I don't really see a big pullback coming until after the hearing. I think there's going to be a sell the news. How severe that is.
The news is the news is selling. The news is selling right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and that happens. Like people will front run, stories, right? And the story is
you have to front run 3 weeks in advance.
Right. So moving right along. Now, this is the baby boy. Everybody loves the baby boy. He's the clown. He's the clown of the family. He's usually more attractive and more talented than all the other siblings. That's me.
The
by the way. I'm the
clownfish.
baby in my family. So I hope my sister's not watching. So anyhow, we got the nice rejection here off of the bottom of the white channel and the long yellow channel that we had been messing around with all the way back since December of 2023. And that's what this big blue swoopy line is. That's where I was anticipating, because we had such confluence here that we should be getting a breakout, and bam, I'll be damned if we didn't nail it. And right there, beginning of September 5th, 6th, which is also when that fractal was breaking upward and finalizing its bottoming, started moving our way up. So if we zoom in on that upward, I feel like we're just like repeating like a broken record here, but it's all the same, right? They're all moving very similarly. We got an upward ascending parallel channel, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, broke down. Looky there, full measured move. We're at it right now. Also, because I didn't nix the previous pattern, not only have we broken down from this one, but it looks like we're right at the top of the previous white channel that we tried to break out of and couldn't get the full measured move. So maybe this time we'll find this as support. We're all on the daily. We're already below the 200, the 21, the 100, and the 55 EMAs. Not good. Are any of them crossing to the downside yet? No, those would be death crosses. So that's good. We could hopefully get a slope back up. Let's look at the 3-day. 3-day, we never quite made it to the 100 EMA up here. We didn't do dick on the 55. We just busted right through it. And we're trying to get back to the 21. So the 21 is $2.23. Right now we are below that. And we are at the top of that white line, right? So if we break back down into this channel, then what we're left with, since all of our EMA friends are way up above us, we're looking at horizontal supports, and that's previous areas of resistance that now we would hope would be support. So if we start to break back into the channel, this could be another little bear trappy thing for people that are paying attention to patterns. And we could wick down into this, and people think, oh God, we're going all the way to the bottom of the channel. We're going back to $1.15. And there's your bear trap. People start selling, like, get me out of here, and then boom, we go right back up, and then we're working our way back up to this channel, and ideally back to the top of this yellow channel, which gets us up to 580, because we love to end on hopium. That's it.
Yay.
You're welcome. Papa, do you want to see Ethereum? Dude, we're way late. We're way over on time, but do you want to see Ethereum?
Give me 10 seconds on Ethereum.
10 seconds of Ethereum. Okay. Da, da, da. All right.
8,
Ethereum.
7.
There it is. Okay. We have. Hey, stop it. Okay. So we've got the fractal on the Ethereum thing too. And it looks pretty, like, I don't know. You guys tell me. The fractal looks like it's kind of not really working, because the fractal we placed in right here would show that we go sideways and up, and we've actually rolled over. The good news is we're in the pattern. We're in this ascending orange parallel channel that has gone all the way back to June of 22. So we're still within that, and we're hanging on for dear life. What's my EMAs on this one? I got different colors for some stupid reason. Looks like
I think
it's the red. Oh, that's the moving average. Get rid of those. I don't like moving averages. I like exponential moving average. Yeah, so basically we're below all the moving averages. We've got death crosses galore. Ethereum's dead, Papa. Sorry. Going to 0. Everything's going to rotate into Pulsechain.
Toby, can you hear me? God damn it.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Papa? Didn't see you there.
Prices, shut up. Prices being low and way being like 3 for in stakes are delicious. Keep it low for a while. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Hey, you know, silver lining, you know, sometimes you can shine up a turd.
And with that, we conclude.
But you can put lipstick on a pig.
This week's TA session. No, but I think the market is waiting on the election thing. That is what everybody is waiting on. And they're spreading this FUD now that the Silk Road Bitcoin is about to be dumped, confiscated by the government. And Trump says if he's president, it won't get dumped, and the other ones want to dump it. So
correct.
The market is super in limbo right now, waiting for some kind of direction. I guess that's, if you zoom out the Bitcoin chart, it's super sideways.
DJ, did you and Peter, are you guys doing mail-in ballots, or are you going to fly over here to vote in person, since we don't require vote D now, and you can go ahead and come on over and vote for Trump? It doesn't matter. Just go to California. You don't need ID. You can vote for Trump. You can vote for anybody you want.
Yeah, California for sure.
California. Go to California. No ID required.
I'm going to Texas.
There you go.
That's where I'm going. Well, thank you, Toby. That was a great TA update. Wonderful charts.
Yeah,
and
but
don't kill the messenger.
Infotainment, right?
EcoBuildr, one more time before we bounce out of here. Please tell the guys the project sites one more time that you're involved in, and your YouTube channel. Where can people find you, basically?
So I made this appearance to get more exposure on Hex Postcards. So for hexpostcards.com, you can find the Telegram group there, and then that secret website /instructions that we mentioned earlier. The donate tab is at the top of that as well, and we've always used the same donation address. We'll take on Pulsechain, Ethereum. We also have a Patreon. And so it's patreon.com /hex postcards. I would deeply appreciate more members being a part of that. $1 a month would just be awesome exposure and great bragging rights within the community. I have also been a part of what is now called the Hex Guild. It started out as Hex Foodies.
Yes, we couldn't even touch that. There was no time. But yeah, you can come back one day, and then we'll talk all about that.
So the idea behind that was hey, we're about to be healthy or wealthy Hexicans, but we need to also pay attention to our health as it is that we're getting more financially successful. So I created that group a while back. It started out as Hex Foodies, in order for that to be the main draw, and Finbear has been one of the best members of that group. Daraj Moray, the man with the golden mic as well.
Okay, we gotta wrap it up.
And so it's
friend of the stream.
Dang, Papa's even trolling the guests now. It's not just me and Peter.
No, I heard that name. So
it's called Hex Guild now, and and then also I've been doing Hex Futures is a YouTube channel that I have created from the beginning of me talking about Hex in general. Like earlier, DJ, you mentioned the second round of streamers. I guess I would be a part of that. Yep. In the early, like basically my very first videos were about getting my your Hex Bitcoin link out there, affiliate link, right? So that whenever people clicked on it, it put cookies into their computer, And whenever it is that they were a part of the adoption
For
amplifier,
the adoption amplifier referrals, yes.
then it was a referral system for that. So that was the first time that I did videos. And then also I covered a little bit of what Hexo was doing whenever he had to whenever it was that YouTube was starting to crack down on people talking about crypto, then Hexo, there was that one time where his wife was giving birth. She was in labor and his YouTube channel had just been deleted. So, or something like this. And so he really quickly, while all this stuff was going on in his life, had to figure out how to set up on a different streamer program, which was D-Live, which what he went to.
Lemons
in the chat.
So I happened to cover a little bit of that on my Hex Futures YouTube channel. So check me out over there. I used to do it every week, but you know, during the bear, you know, your emotions are going up and down, and it's like, okay, like reassess in your life what all you're putting your time into. But also one of the things that Hex Futures was about was to have it to where I could display for my local area what was going on in Hex whenever it is that they finally catch up to it, catch up to crypto. So meetup.com is a website where people can be organizers if they pay, and anybody can have a profile. You don't have to pay to have a profile, and you can go and find like-minded people in your area, and they all huddle under the umbrella of that one organizer. So I had created a crypto group about, you know, crypto dividends. Come check out this Hex thing. And so that's one of the things that I was doing weekly. So whenever it is that you have ideas about doing meetups locally, consider that sort of thing. So my area is the Austin area of Texas. I'm just north of Austin. So thanks for listening to me rant. Oh yeah, and then also a free mail if you want some business cards or stickers, get in touch with me by this website or just tweet at me, Twitter on me. And then another thing, I mean, shit, while I'm rambling, I created these little dollar bills.
Yes, we've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is like,
Peter, isn't that the currency of Kvechnia?
No,
100%.
we have worse.
With QR codes.
Sorry.
So the idea is like, how do you onboard people to Hex? Where do you send them? And when you run into them on the street or in the coffee shop, what cool artifact can you give them to follow up? And then so my idea with this was you put your email address goes in the middle of this thing, and you are now the sponsor of whoever you give this to. If somebody follows through and gives you an email, then you're able to create a stake, wrap it up with the Hedron situation, make it an NFT, send it to their wallet. Therefore, there is no security issues. They're the ones who created their own wallet, figured out everything on their own. It's a small little tiny stake. How much do I recommend you send people? What, like $1, $2, you know, just to get them started, get them exposure. They're able to sit there and look at that NFT and its gains, its performances through the tools, the apps that we already have inside of our community. On the back side of this little certificate, there's a bunch of QR codes that have people's YouTubes, so that people can be entertained and follow in, get in the fold with our community.
Nice. Now we showed them on the intro actually. I want to say 3 weeks ago, because Dolo, he was shilling them on his Twitter. He's one of Wales Only's boys,
Dolomite,
if you will. Dolo, yes, and
yeah.
he showed them on the camera, so that was very cool. I didn't know that was your idea. You see how the circle comes back. So everybody follow at EcoBuildr on the X. Links are in the description down below. You currently have, I think, 3,500 followers there, and you should have way more for all the work that you're putting in for the community. So salute to you, and thank you very much for being on the show today. Thanks, you guys. That's all the time we have. And Papa B, enjoy the rotten apple. And he's muted.
Thank you. We're getting into shit now. Yeah.
New York, New York. It's a hell of a town.
If he can make it there, he'll make it anywhere.
Avoid the migrants. Avoid the migrants.
Where's my wallet? It's missing already.
Where are my
Give me a
keys?
slice, will you, Papa? Give me a slice while you're
Where are my
there.
keys? All right, guys. We see you on the
I'm
next
gonna
one.
get a bagel and a schmear.
Outro.